welcome, snipers. Today we want to look at what I call the ultimate bull run portfolio as we look at 2024 to 2025. You know, in the Sniper Club, I've been sharing that I've been building multiple portfolios. We have here the bull run portfolio, which is what we're looking at today. We have a meme portfolio, and we're giving meme that special attention. Memes that special attention because we think it's been the top performing narrative in the bull run so far, and perhaps it might even continue. And we know towards the end of the bull run, memes tend to go really crazy. So we've been seeing memes doing well throughout this cycle, but perhaps it will do even better towards the end of the cycle. And recently, I did a video and I shared it here on the Sniper Club Library channel. And also, we just went through it within our Zoom about gamifying wealth creation with levels. But today, we're talking about our bull run portfolio, and I want to jump right into it. I pray you'll find this very useful. Of course, remember, this is not financial advice. You should always do your own research. And remember, with crypto, perhaps you should not invest more than you're willing to lose. But let's jump right into it. Our bull run portfolio for 2024 to 2025. Of course, we must have, I'm going to hide these here just so that we can have a little fun, right? So I think you should have, or certainly should consider having BTC in your portfolio, Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin should be in everyone's portfolio. We see it as a stored value for our capital, similar to how gold is viewed as a stored value. But this is like digital gold, and perhaps you can even hold it. It's going to be strong, I think, in this bear market or when the bull run is finished because of all the ETFs. You know, Bitcoin is really the standard bearer. Now it's been accepted throughout the world, and the regulatory environment is really supporting it. And we're finally seeing institutional adoption with all the ETFs that is taking place. So I have 15% here, 15% here into Bitcoin. ETH has been underperforming so far, and perhaps people are really disappointed with ETH. But I think ETH is going to surprise us. It's still the biggest chain in terms of metrics. The DeFi world is built on ETH. And yes, the ETFs have not been doing well, but I think that's been a direct impact of the macro environment, the broader economic environment. But I think that's going to change, and we're going to see ETH perform better towards the end of the year. Hey, we have some upgrades coming up soon, some upgrades that are going to look at based roll-ups. And I think this is really going to revive ETH, because a lot of the validators, we're going to see them earn better income. And that's all about creating wealth chains that create wealth opportunities for the ecosystem. And that's what we're going to be seeing with the new upgrades that are coming to ETH. So I expect ETH to perform really well. You know, we have Solana next. We have 15% in ETH, but Solana, we also have 15%. So this represents 45% of what I would recommend as a bull run portfolio for 2024 into 2025. We have Breakpoint conference coming up shortly in the next few days in Singapore, and I'm really excited about that. One of the things I'm looking forward to is to figure out, when is Fire Dancer coming out? I think Fire Dancer's upgrade is going to have a significant impact for the future of Solana. Perhaps Solana might be one of the top, Solana and ETH might be the two top risk-adjusted plays as we go into the bull run. So I'm expecting big things out of Solana. The retail market is, retail chains are using Solana. It's sort of the retail market is sort of the chain of choice. But also it's been the big player with memes, and I don't think memes are going anywhere. So that represents 45% of our portfolio. Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, the core of our portfolio. And I've also included here Ton Chain. We're seeing the Ton coin doing really well. Today it stands at 13 million market cap, 13 to 14 million, $5.46. But we're seeing an entire revolution taking place on the Ton ecosystem. From tap-based economies, just look at the level of engagement we're seeing with Hamster Combat. We're seeing mobile users increasing, daily users increasing on the Ton chain. And so I'm expecting big things from Ton. So I have to add it into my portfolio. It represents 5%. Casper. When we speak about Casper, I think we're talking about revolutionary technology. And what a great, what do you call this? Slogan or statement, beyond the block. Casper is really not at its, well, Casper is really a block DAG, not really a blockchain. When you think of a blockchain, we think about blocks just being chained together. But Casper really operates as the world's first block DAG, which is allowing parallel blocks. And I think that's going to be big. When we see technology like this, if it's embraced, now sometimes the best technology does not always win. But if this technology is embraced, this can be truly disruptive technology, and perhaps it's something you want exposure to. And I have 5% into Casper. Now, I'm not happy with the launch of the KRC tokens, and we've been seeing a lot of challenges in that. And perhaps someone might um, say that is expressive of the entire Casper ecosystem or chain, and that's something to look at. Phantom, I'm really excited about Phantom. I think it could be that a winner in this bull run. Phantom is rebranding to S. It's just cool, you know. You just, you know, it's that cool factor. I love the new brand, right? The Sonic. I love the new brand. I think Phantom is going to be big. I'm excited about it, and it's super fast, it's super cheap. It has all of the core factors that you need to see success in the bull run. And that there represents the core of my portfolio, looking at Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, Ton, Casper, and Phantom, representing 60% of the bull run portfolio. Let's move on, and we're going to go into AI. And we've picked perhaps what is going to be the top narratives for this bull run, and AI certainly has made the list. So let's jump right into AI. Hey, I'm especially bullish on AI going into this cycle. I think that AI is going to really perform well. When we look at this is revolutionary technology. We've seen computers, the internet, the mobile phone, and now we've been privileged to witness the birth of AI, artificial intelligence. I hope it's privileged, right? We don't know what the future would bring. But let's jump right into it. Firstly, I have here Fetch or ASI, Artificial Super Intelligence. And this token, Fetch or ASI, it's going to be rebranded to ASI shortly. The ASI token really came out of a merger of three really prominent AI focused crypto projects. We're looking at Fetch, and we're looking at Singularity.net or SingularityNet and Ocean Protocol. They've come together with the goal of becoming the dominant force in decentralized AI. And I think it's going to happen. They're doing really well. It's been performing just as perhaps I shared or predicted. I thought it was going to run up into the merger, but then after come down. But now it's been a really good time to accumulate this project. And I have here 2% into Fetch or ASI. The next project I'm looking at is Tau. I think Tau can do really well, Bitenza. When we look at Tau, we're really thinking about a project that is operating as a marketplace, a decentralized marketplace for machine learning and artificial intelligence. I personally look at it like how Orbitz, you know, when you go to the Orbitz, those of you all who've used the Orbitz, what do you call it, a travel website that looks at hotels, airlines, car rental firms. It's an entire ecosystem built around travel. Well, the same way Tau or Bitenza is an entire ecosystem built around AI through open source protocols to create this decentralized AI marketplace. And so I have here 2% into Tau. And let's talk now about Nair. And so this is my top AI picks, right, going into the bull run. These are projects that I'm personally investing in, of course, not financial advice. When I look at Nair today, it sits at $3.89 with a 4.3 billion market cap. I think Nair is really stepping up its game. It's doing a lot, and I think now we normally looked at Nair as an L1, but I think now Nair has really been positioning and committing themselves to be an AI project supporting AI applications. And so I expect big things coming out of Nair. It's an AI project that now, so you realize I'm not saying it's just like I'm not saying it's a layer one, but it's an AI project that's really committed to the intersection of AI and Web3. This is going to be big, and a lot of people are sleeping on there, but I think it's going to be a really big AI project. And now we look at Arweave, and let's see where Arweave sits at today. Arweave today is at 1.2, so it's still, when you look at these mega projects, it's still relatively small. As tokenomics is really good. It's a project that's been around for a while. And Arweave, we think of Arweave as permanent storage, but Arweave has really been evolving, especially with the AO computer, and that really creates a hyper parallel computer. And that's going to speed up, of course, performance, because now we're going to have processors executing in parallel. So I'm excited about Arweave. I'm excited about AO. I think it's all going to be bullish for the AI space. Akash and Render, we're looking at here really two more DePIN type plays, or if you want to call it AI slash DePIN plays. Render is really a platform that allows artists to use computational power, graphical GPU power for 3D imaging and videos. And same thing with Akash. Akash, of course, has seen a lot of institutional involvement. I like these two projects because they're revenue positive, and I like crypto projects that are actually earning money. And that's what you're going to see in the AI space and even in the decentralized computing DePIN space. And that's why we have Akash and Render here, because it's playing multiple narratives, AI and DePIN. So these are our AI plays that we are recommending for the bull run. We have 2% in each for a total of 12%, right? So that is going to be 72% of our portfolio. And now we go into the next narrative. And the next narrative that I'm looking at is no other narrative but gaming. So let's dive into the gaming narrative. Start off with gaming. I want to look at Super. Super has really been performing well recently. I think they're making all the right moves. You got to respect what Super is doing. They've rebranded recently to Superverse. Well, not recently, some time ago. But they're making all the right moves. And I'm expecting big things to come from Super. They've just finished a season where they've had all these token drops to their community. They're launching Ton Station, but I think they're also going to be a distributor for Off the Grid. And so Ilio and team at Super really understand the space well. That's one of the beautiful things when you have good leadership in the space and they're bringing on the right hires. And Super is just going to be bullish. I have 2% on Super. I love Prime also. Prime is going to be a exposure to both AI and gaming. It's two narratives, so perhaps I could say that's AI and gaming. It's been really performing well. You gotta love Beam, an Avalanche subnet, a project that I think that's been launched on Avalanche. They've built a blockchain specifically for gaming as an Avalanche subnet, and one of the things you're really bullish about Beam is their treasury. The Beam treasury, listen, this treasury, by the time the bull run goes into its full flight, the Beam treasury is going to be at a crazy valuation. So I'm bullish on Beam. I think Beam is going to do really well. IMX, I think IMX is really a play on the entire gaming ecosystem or the entire gaming tokens, the gaming narrative. And blockchain games are going to become, I think, the future of gaming. And so when you're invested into IMX, I think that's that exposure into the future of gaming on the blockchain. And lastly, I looked at here Ronin. I think Ronin has been the only crypto blockchain or the only chain that could claim that they've really created. They went into the top, right? Axie Infinity. They went into the top tokens in the crypto space. So I think they're the only blockchain that has been proven to scale a single game to accommodate millions of daily users. And they've processed more than 4 billion in NFT volume. It's a winner. It was created by Sky Mavis, the creator of the breakout game Axie Infinity. And so when we look at Ronin and we look at the daily active users, the growth of the chain, hey, I think they cap off our selection for the gaming narrative. So we have here 5 winners. I recently did a video with Hustle from In the Game at Crypto Banter. And these were some of Hustle's top picks also. And we sort of, I think, as a community, we sort of synchronize on these picks being the winners. And that's the easy thing about billing, or not necessarily the easy thing, but that's what we want from a bull run portfolio. We want to just choose what we think are going to be the winners, the top performers, where the liquidity is going to come into first. And so we have here Super, Prime, Beam, IMX, and Ronin, totaling 10% of our portfolio. And so now we're going to go into real world assets, the real world asset narrative. It's new this cycle, but I think it has a lot of potential. So let's dive into real world assets and take a deeper look at it. Oh, there's my boy Punky looking at us. But let me just hide that here just for a while. We're going to get into that shortly. So yeah, let's jump into real world assets, the RWA narrative. As we look at real world assets, we're going to have to start off with Ondo. I think Ondo, when you hear the word Ondo, you think immediately BlackRock, and they've really been the leader in the space. And I think Ondo Finance, the Ondo Foundation, I think we're going to see some big things coming out of them, especially as we look at what they're building. I think they're building really, it's transformative. When we think about TradFi going into the world of DeFi and really tokenizing assets, this is going to be the future, I think. This is the future of DeFi. And having the players like BlackRock behind you, I think Ondo definitely needs to be included in a portfolio. Um, Same time, be aware, of course, that there's some big unlocks coming in January. About 135% of the circulating supply is going to be unlocked. And so perhaps that should affect how you really manage this project going into the bull run. Pendle is another project, real world asset play, that's more of a DeFi play and real world asset play. And perhaps you could say it hits those two narratives. Market cap is not that high, 509 million market cap, fully diluted, 830 million. A lot of whales, a lot of the big investors are invested into Pendle. I think this is going to perform well in the bull run. As we look at Mantra, sitting at 900 million market cap, some really good tokenomics. I think Mantra can do well, or how do you pronounce it? Mantra, I think it can do well. I think Mantra blockchain is specifically designed. It's an RWA layer 1 blockchain. And I think it's being designed for RWA specifically. I think that's going to make it stand out. So it's really a solid play in the RWA narrative. It's showing strength, and we're seeing it's a good token if you want to have some exposure in the real world assets narrative. And lastly, Maple Finance, a low cap. Let me see where Maple is sitting at today. I think it's a low cap play. I've been sharing this with the community for quite a while now, and it's at 77 million. It's performed well, while as a lot of tokens have crashed. Look at where Maple is. Maple has just been performing really well. We've done a video within the Sniper Club here just on Maple Finance. You could take a look at it at the Sniper Club library, YouTube library. And also Simon and Matt and myself, we did a video just on real world assets, and you could take a look at it here. So looking at the bull run, these are my 4 picks in the bull run. Hey, and you really get to see how we've weighted so far our exposure as we go into the bull run. You're seeing 60% into the core, 12% into AI, 10% into gaming, 8% into real world assets. And that's sort of how I'm playing this cycle, looking at the top performing narratives, looking at gaming, AI, real world assets. Let's look at the last narrative within our portfolio. And this is, of course, memes. And here we've chosen what I think could be some of the top performing memes as we close off the bull run, the cycle. Ponky. Ponky, I think it's been a content leader. A lot of the memes are following Ponky. It has a lot of key influencers in the project, KOLs in the project. It's built a cult-like community. And I love to say Ponky is the only meme that truly makes me laugh. I have 1% in Ponky. Popcat has been performing really well. We've seen great relative strength from Popcat, and we have that also at 1%. Pepe Coin was developed originally by Base Labs. We have 1% there. It's the OG Pepe Coin, right? Originally launched in 2016 as has its own layer one and it's been migrated to ETH. They're building, of course, it's a leverage play on Base AI, which is really doing ZK LLMs. So I think that Pepe Coin it's a unique meme coin. So it's not just a meme coin, but there's some real utility behind it. Perhaps WIF can be the Doge of this cycle. And you see a lot of course, Ansem has been a guy really pushing WIF. Of course, Pepe is the best meme out there. I think it's the leader. It's the creative leader this cycle. And Redo is a play of ton coin. I think Redo can really do well. It has some historical, we can see some of its past performance. We have 6% into memes. We cannot sleep on memes. Of course, I said I have a separate meme portfolio. You can reach out in the Sniper Club to find out more about that portfolio. But as it pertains to the Bull Run portfolio, 6% into memes, Ponky, Popcat, Pepe Coin, WIF, Pepe, and Redo. And lastly, perhaps two sleepers that a lot of people are not considering, but I will also want to include it here. So I put this in a category called Miscellaneous. We know launch pads really pump in the middle of the bull run, and a great launch pad is CDFI. It's normally the top performing or one of the top performing launch pads. I have 2% in CDFI, and I think we need a play on base. Now, I do have exposure with memes on base, but I wanted to look here at a non-meme based play. Based, of course, on like Toncoin or Casper or most of the top L1s, does not have its own coin. And therefore, what's going to absorb a lot of the liquidity? I think it's going to be projects like Aero. It's a main DEX and hub on base. It's a beta exposure to the base ecosystem. As we said, since base does not have a token. And we've been seeing the volumes really outperforming Uniswap. So it's something to look at. And so there we have it. Our bull run portfolio, our core portfolio, 60%, AI portfolio, 12%, gaming, 10%, real world assets, 8%, memes, 6%, miscellaneous, 4%. This here represents what I think would be a strong portfolio going into the bull run. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think we should have included? What did we leave out? Please comment below. And don't forget to subscribe. Remember, this is not financial advice, but this is a portfolio that I think can do really well within the bull run. And there you have it. This is our bull run portfolio 2024 to 2025. And this comes out of a lot of research, a lot of the projects we've been looking at. And so share your thoughts on it. Let me hear what you think. And perhaps you've never considered joining the Sniper Club. Hey, you can do that. It's a great community with great team members. You get to hang out with us as we build winning portfolios as we go deeper into the cycle. Hey, wishing you the best. Wishing you investing and trading success in this cycle. We're out from the Sniper Club.